So I consider myself to be a baller on a budget. I am one of those collectors that likes to get bang for his buck. And I pass on a lot of stuff and I catch it at clearance or I don't catch it at all. But in the case of right now, we're seeing Walmart with super deep discounts clearancing out old stuff, but new stuff is showing up. We see Ross continually getting stuff that never hit retail. Or if it did hit retail, it barely hit retail. And so I'm going to share with you my pickups over the last month, maybe it's 2 months. And hopefully you can find some of this stuff if it interests you. And if it doesn't interest you, it'd still be interesting to see how much it costs. So let's get right into this, and we're going to start with a little bit of Star Wars stuff. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the Disney Store exclusives. Now, Disney has their parks exclusives, and when it doesn't sell out and they want to reset, they send it to the stores at half price, or even cheaper than half price. So here's a handful of things I got at the Disney Store, and they did point out that it's a parks exclusive. Now this is a set of 4 droids, and I don't have any of these, and I think they're cool. And it was $16 for 4 droids. I thought that was a pretty good price. I don't have any of these. And I have like 50 other Asmatech droids. So adding to that is really great. On top of that, there's this. Now this is $10 for 2, which is a bit too much for me. Based off The Last Jedi, which I guess, I don't remember seeing them in there. But that's a pretty cool little set. I don't have any green little droids. It was nice to have these for $10. Next up, we have some roleplay stuff. Now, my kids are big into roleplay, and we do costumes around here. So I figured, it'd be kind of cool to have these. And they shoot little discs, kind of like, I think Nerf had some discs like that. So maybe that's the same kind of discs. I don't know. I haven't opened it up. I might do a review on this and open it up and do it. But I know my kids will eventually get it for, Christmas, birthday, or something. But for $14, I figured I might never see something like this again for that price. And so I picked it up. And then also we have the Imperial binders. So when Chewbacca was handcuffed, this is the kind of thing that got used. It's just really cool, and my kids will have a lot of fun playing with this. And to say, this is one of the ways I buy Christmas presents. I start buying stuff like this, hide it away, and because there's toys coming and going from this house all day long. My kids never know what's going to be theirs under the tree, so it's pretty easy for me. So next up, I got a couple of Ross finds. Now this is, I never really even cared about this set, but the more I looked at that cage, I was thinking that might hold a Masterpiece Ravage. And for $5, why not? If it holds Masterpiece Ravage, great. If not, it's $5. But all the other Ravage cages are real expensive, and I don't even think I would use it that much, but I just thought it'd be fun. And plus the MP Ravage looks smaller than this thing that's supposed to go inside of it, so that'd be interesting. The next one, this is cool. Now this Wampa is an updated version of the vintage and then the 90s. This is its own new thing. Now I have the 90s one, and I have this one, and of course my 90s one is still sealed because I never opened it because I'm a sealed and packaged Star Wars collector. But this is really cool. Now I picked one up at Target when I saw it, and I thought, I'll never see this thing again. And I did see it at Ross. In the back of my mind, I said, what if this thing shows up at Ross for like $6 or $7? And sure enough, this is $6.99 at Ross. And the cool thing is, the sad thing is that I've seen remnants of this at other Rosses for $5.99, meaning that they got a case of its Wavemate, which is that weird Rathar. Do they have a picture of the Rathar? You'd think they would since they're Wavemates, but the Rathar that doesn't sell anywhere. So next up I want to talk about these Star Wars items. This is a clearance, it's a metal statue for the 40th anniversary that titanium nobody cared about. Now I was going to buy all of the ones that they had when they got to like $2. Now this thing, I checked one day, they were still $4 and something, and then I checked 2 days later, and this is all they had. It was like $2.50. I would have bought them all for $2.50, probably doubles, 2 of each or whatever. But that's all I got. So I was just going to put them on my Death Star because I have that 9 Death Stars project, which I'm going to revisit soon. It would have been nice to have that full of these, but whatever. I think they actually sent the rest of them somewhere else. This is a Walmart exclusive, and I think I got this for $7. I was at a Walmart out of town, and they were all selling for $7. So I said I picked up two or three of these, and it's pretty cool. It's a Stormtrooper from the Solo. Solo was actually a pretty decent movie. A lot of people are just so upset about Last Jedi, and I didn't get upset about Last Jedi, by the way. And then here we are with this is the weirdest thing. This thing came out the day that they came out with the Retro Collection, and it was an exclusive to Target. And the Han Solo Stormtrooper, which is kind of a big thing, like how in the Vintage line did you make a Luke Stormtrooper, but no Han Stormtrooper? That's always been a big deal. Then they come out with this, and it's almost like they slap you in the face saying, you're not going to get a vintage Han Stormtrooper either. You're going to get it in this. I think they'll eventually come around and give us a Han Stormtrooper that will look good next to a true vintage Luke Stormtrooper. But with all that out of the way, this guy was $12.99, and I found this on clearance for $3.89. Doesn't make any sense. Their Father's Day exclusives sold with a clearance or something, like 2 weeks after Father's Day or 1 week after Father's Day, to $3.89. That makes no sense. And I don't have it down here, but I think it was $6 for the Luke Stormtrooper 6-inch. Next up is this Star Wars Resistance line, which it's kind of like a copycat of the 1986 droids, the 1985 droids, 1985 or 86, whatever, of the Ewoks, where it was based off of a cartoon off of a Star Wars franchise. And then, okay, you could say it's based, they're just most recently copying Star Wars Rebels. But I have to tell you that if you know your history of Star Wars, then you'll know that the biggest flop of Star Wars are the hardest figures to find. And if you're a true collector and you like to collect hard to find things, this is going to be the hardest line of figures to collect for in the future. So I bought up 2 of each, and I'm actually they dropped the price to $5, and I bought 1 of each, and then they dropped them to 4, so I bought another set. And then if they drop them to 3, I might just go in all in and just buy the last like 6 figures on my shelf at my local Walmart. But here's the thing, they're not bad figures. And I've never seen a gold Stormtrooper before, and it's got a slightly animated style to it. Now, yeah, it's the First Order. No, it's not original trilogy, but they're done well. And I have to say that I'm gonna come out and say it. All those Force Awakens figures that just you can get them for like $1 and a smile. Those figures look good. They were done well. They're painted well. I don't hate 5 POA because I don't open my figures. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but Titanium Hanger is not big on opening figures up. I think I've opened less than a dozen figures in 23 years, if that tells you where I come from. But I did consider doing like a full-on video just about the Resistance line, because I actually am intrigued by it, and I'm even more intrigued by the fact that it's canceled, and it looks like, I have to tell you, from going to Walmarts and Targets almost every day in my town, I never ever see any of these sell, ever, until it hit clearance. It's almost funny, but this is an interesting Stormtrooper. If you look at the Droids line, the vintage Droids figures online, they go for astronomical amounts. In fact, I bought an entire collection of Ewoks, the Ewoks carded figures from vintage for $500. And when I bought it 7 or 8 years ago, I knew it was a steal. I was like, that's a steal, dude. And I might be selling this for $700 in the future, who knows? But probably keeping it for my own collection. So I want to point out a couple of things. Number one, this is a Ross find. And I actually got, I think I've shown it in my news, but since this is a roundup, got a Command Captain Rex 6-inch for $3 or $4. I got a couple of Leias for like $3 or $4. This guy was $10. This is a Walgreens exclusive Ghost of Obi-Wan, and I just absolutely love the fact that this was made. And I think that this is like an overlooked gem. Now I have a couple that I bought for full price when it came out, just so I would have it. But I was like, for $10, I will get another because my son likes it, and eventually he'll get one. Now, if you look at these, you have the battle droid, you have Han with his, Mimbian, and Ezra Bridger. Now this just constitutes a small amount of these that I picked up. I picked up almost every new figure for the first two waves that all these would come in for $15 to $14.92 at Walmart. Walmart sell these for $14.92. And I think this Ezra Bridger was like a Walmart ad match, if to be correct. I might be mistaken, but I've been to so many Walmarts and Targets that I've been, picking and choosing. But I think I got 5 of this droid, and I think I'm going to do a review of this droid and compare him to the 3 3/4 inch and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I think that might be something fun to do. But this is the time to army build these guys, because we are talking just a few days from now, maybe 2 weeks from now, the prices will go back up, and you won't find this guy for $15 anymore. And even though he's packed 2 to a case, this is going to be a hard to find figure because everybody wants to army build that. And I don't even like prequels, and I want to army build it simply because I play the game, and I guess I kind of grew attached to the stupid droids with their dumb comments that they constantly have to say throughout the game and the movies. And the Mimbian Mud Trooper. Now my friend's really into this. So I've recently, when I say recently, probably about 8 months ago, I sold off all of my He-Man stuff and the vintage He-Man stuff, so I could focus more on Masterpiece Transformers and Star Wars stuff. But I gotta say, for the right price, I'll buy more He-Man stuff. And these, first off, I never really I don't like Lego figures. I don't like Lego figures. My kids love them. I don't want to get into Legos. That's too expensive. There's too much going on. This Creo thing is a little bit different. The Mega Constructs, what they call it, Mega Constructs. I keep calling it Creo. It's cool, and this pack is awesome because everyone that missed out on their first runs of these can get them in this pack. So my son pointed out that they had this pack, then he pointed out that, it's discounted to $15, but they're sold out. So we were in a different Walmart and found it for $9. So I say, $9 for this, $2.50 for a Man-at-Arms. I mean, I could get with that. And I know that they've got that castle out and all that. And I think that this is a really cool set. And so why not? It's not going to take up nearly the space that my collection did, which was a massive amount of space. And I can just set this in the corner, and if I want to check it out, just pull it out whenever I want to. So I'm kind of guessing there might be 1, 2, or 3 of my viewers that watch my channel for the Transformer content. So for those 1, 2, or 3 viewers that watch my channel for Transformer content, I want to talk to you about this. First off, Walmart is clearancing out these guys. Now, I'm pulling this guy out even though I paid full price for him. I never found this one on a clearance price. Now, these guys are marked down to $5, and I happened to stumble across one Walmart. Now, I'm just saying, one Walmart that had these guys. So I got 2 of each, and I think they still had like 4 each left. But I just said, I'd like to have a couple of each of these for $5 each, and I already had, one of that, 2, 3, whatever. But anyway, for $5 each, I just can't resist. I love the packaging. I love the history behind it. I love everything about what they're doing with this line. And also it helps clear out those Walmarts for future inventory because I know I'm going to go there and try to buy some more stuff. So next up I want to talk to you about these, what do they call these? This is Battle Masters. And I got these because of the battle effects that are in there. And so, like, in my mind, that little piece of plastic, I'm paying $3. They're down to $3 at Walmart. Target will match that for you, especially if you have the Walmart app on your phone. You can just scan it and say your local Walmart sells it for $3. And so that will help you with that too. But I can tell you that these blast effects are really cool. And I have to say that these things have been the same figures on my shelves for 6 months. So once they marked them to 3 and I started buying some, I started seeing the shelves empty a bit. And maybe when I bought a few, then somebody else bought a few, and then now it's almost empty, like almost completely barren. And that's a good thing. That means that we should get new product. That'll trigger the system to send us new product. And lastly, I wasn't going to talk about or even buy these things because I'm not interested in them. But now they're down to $5 each, and I think that's what the price should have been in the first place for these. But it's modern economy, I guess. And I have a handful of these from the G1 line, but I think these are probably a little more articulated and made a little bit better made than the G1s. But it doesn't interest me a super huge amount. But anyway, I want you to tell me what you think about this little collection of clearance items, giving you updates on where to find stuff for cheap. Like and subscribe, and of course, I hear me out.